have to save you. What's up, guys? So I just rewatched Batman Begins for the first time in a couple of months, maybe. And, you know, since my movie theater is reopening Friday and potentially The Dark Knight is going to be coming in as a comeback classic in a few weeks, and Tenet is supposed to be coming out. Tenet is supposed to be coming out in a few weeks. I don't know why I keep putting an extra N in there. It's Tenet. Tenet. That's coming out in a few weeks, so, you know, I've been really in the mood to watch Batman Begins for some reason. And tonight I put up my 100-inch projector screen, which is not connected right now, obviously. But yeah, I just got done watching the movie, so I said, you know what, I don't think I have a review for this up on my channel, so why not review it, you know? So yeah, so here we go. Batman Begins. There's going to be spoilers in this video, so if you haven't seen the movie, probably not a good idea to stick around. But I mean, the movie's been out for 15 years, so Batman Begins, Christian Bale, Christopher Nolan, coming in after Joel Schumacher kind of just, you know, rest in peace, Joel Schumacher. But I'm not sure what the filmmakers were necessarily taking when they made Batman and Robin. Don't know what was going on there. But here, you know, we have the best Batman movie up to this point. This movie is an origin story as a crime thriller, as a drama, as all these sort of things. An action movie, superhero movie. You know, it works on so many levels. And, I mean, that is mainly towards the screenplay, and towards the direction, and towards the acting, and the score. This movie was like lightning in a bottle. You know, everything came together so perfectly. You know, it's like this... No, okay, I will say this. This movie is not like 100% movie for me. I do have like minor flaws and problems. They're not big, they're not glaring, but they are kind of there. More so sprinkled in the third act of the movie. But, I mean, regardless, I mean, this story of Bruce Wayne, where we meet him, he is in a really bad place, and he's almost just kind of trying to find himself, you know, traveling the world and getting locked away in this crazy prison to where this Ducard guy is where, you know, we're introduced to him as Ducard. Later we find out that he actually is Ra's al Ghul. He has a lot of kind of hatred towards Gotham City, and he's running this thing called the League of Shadows with these ninjas and everything. So he's like, you know, he sees kind of potential in Bruce Wayne, so he takes him in. Bruce Wayne becomes trained by Ducard, aka Ra's al Ghul, and he becomes a member of the League of Shadows, almost becomes a member of the League of Shadows when he's introduced with, like, killing someone to kind of get initiated into it. He says, you know, I'm not going to kill anybody. Bruce Wayne is big into justice, but he doesn't want to kill anybody. And I think that's a really strong character bit. It's a really strong character sort of motivation to where he could try to save as many people as he can and take out all these criminals. He doesn't care if he knocks the crap out of them, but killing them is just a little too far, and he feels like that he is not, you know, he shouldn't be the one who decides who lives and who dies. And I really respect that about him. And Christian Bale as Bruce Wayne, aka Batman, I mean, personally for me, this is the best Batman we have. He's incredible in this movie. In some of the Bruce Wayne scenes where it's like really emotional, and in the Batman stuff as well, the voice, I love it. I love the cowl, the suit, and probably some of my favorite scenes in this movie are between him and Michael Caine as Alfred. Probably the most emotional scenes in the movie, and a lot of stuff that kind of that he's reminded of his past with his parents and everything before they're murdered. You know, there's that great scene between Alfred and Bruce Wayne, like 8-year-old Bruce Wayne, I think he is, when he's younger in the movie where we see him. There's that great scene where Bruce is just at the window and Alfred tries to talk to him, but Bruce ignores him. And Bruce turns around and he's like breaking down, saying, "It's my fault, it's my fault. I could have done something about his parents' death." And the way Michael Caine acts in that scene, and how he's just like, "No, no, no, that was his, what wasn't your fault. That was all the killer, the murderer's fault," or something along those lines. And the way he says it, and how Bruce hugs him and says, "I miss them so much," and how Alfred, Michael Caine, he says, "So do I, Master Bruce, so do I," or something like that. And the way he delivers those lines, it excels this movie. And I'm not just even talking about Michael Caine. The performances from everybody, Gary Oldman as Commissioner Gordon, or not? He's not Commissioner. He's he becomes Lieutenant. But Gordon, he's excellent in the movie. How him and Batman sort of get a bond. Gordon is actually one of the very rare people in Gotham that's not corrupt. There's a lot of crime going on. This Falcone guy, he's really like the crime lord in Gotham City, and there's so many corrupt cops and corrupt everybody, really. Drugs coming in, and he's getting away with it. He's paying people off. He's rich. And then you get this Scarecrow guy, who's basically the other kind of villain, more so the main villain. Technically, this movie has like 3 villains: Falcone, the Scarecrow, and Ra's al Ghul. I guess you would say he's the main, like, overarching villain of the movie. But you do have all these other kind of antagonists in the movie, and like halfway through it, rewatching it, I'm thinking, okay, there's kind of a lot going on here, but it pieces together so well how the Scarecrow was working for Ra's al Ghul to basically poison Gotham with this gas that will make them hallucinate, and basically the people will turn on each other and Gotham will be in chaos. And that's what Ra's al Ghul wants. It's a really kind of corrupt way of looking at solving a problem, making it worse technically. But Bruce Wayne, he comes in and he becomes Batman, which I actually love the idea of him becoming the thing he fears the most, to make his enemies sort of fear that as well. I thought that was a really cool spin on it, and really cool way to add to the character of Batman. Now, I didn't mention Rachel Dawes in this film. She's played by Katie Holmes, where in the second film she's played by Maggie Gyllenhaal. This time around, look, Katie Holmes in this movie, she's good. There's maybe 3 or 4 lines that she gives in the movie that are a little questionable, like how she delivers it. But overall, she is not bad. She's serviceable in the movie. I do think Maggie Gyllenhaal is a better fit for the character, and she kind of just embodies the role more, I would say. Where Rachel Dawes, Katie Holmes is more like, I don't know. She's okay. She's giving a serviceable performance. But I have to mention the score. James Newton Howard, Hans Zimmer, making some really memorable themes. I mean, a lot of this music is kind of repeated and recited in the next 2 movies, so to create it here, so many things that were created in this movie, like, it's, like I said, lightning in a bottle. I mean, so much of this movie worked. Now, if I'm going to get into, as I said, there's like minor nitpicks and minor issues I have with this movie. So later on in the film, when the gas kind of gets to everybody in Gotham, and everybody's supposed to be going crazy, hallucinating, you do get certain shots of what they see, but at the same time, the previous 2 people, or 3 people or whatever, that we see actually get with the gas. I guess Batman gets it, Rachel Dawes gets it, and Falcone gets it. Throughout the movie, we see them kind of really go absolutely nuts. But everybody that kind of gets infected by the gas, I don't know if it's because it's in the air, it's not as strong. I'm not sure. But everybody sort of acts... They don't really act the same way, like, as our more important characters got affected by it. Now, like I said, I don't know if that's because the gas is in the air and it's not as effective. I don't know. But they sort of act like zombies. Like, there's a sequence where they're like walking around like zombies, and they see Batman with like the red eyes and everything, but instead of being like afraid, they like walk up to him like zombies and start like attacking him, you know. So it was a little off and a little weird to me. But the thing is, everybody that got affected in Gotham City by this gas, I mean, I'm sure they all got like the antidote, the mass antidote that Morgan Freeman was kind of sent to go make. Also, Morgan Freeman, didn't even mention him. He's also great in the movie, you know? I mean, there's so many great actors in this. So he's sent to make the antidote to kind of reverse the effects. So I guess he had to make a ton of it because a lot of people got affected by the gas. So they don't really acknowledge the people that got affected after Ra's al Ghul sort of, I'm not going to kill you, but I don't have to save you. Like I said in the beginning of the video. After that, you know, you don't see anybody sort of get the antidote to be reversed, and I get that. It would have made the movie longer. It's maybe unnecessary, but, I mean, a lot of people got affected. It's sort of like kind of an Amazing Spider-Man when everybody got the lizard smoke serum or whatever, and they all kind of began to turn into lizard cops or whatever, and they never go back to it. It's almost like everybody that got affected here, they never go back to it, but it's a nitpick. Listen, there are so many great moments in this movie. Putting all that aside, this is an extremely entertaining movie. The score is great, the acting is great, Christopher Nolan's style is great. I mean, everything about the movie is great. Really, this is a really well-made film. It's just some of those nitpicks that don't make this a complete 5 out of 5 for me, but I absolutely love this movie. And it even amps me up to see The Dark Knight. I mean, I might not even wait to potentially see it in the theater. I might just watch it in a couple days and do a review for it. But who knows? But listen, Batman Begins, it gets a 4.5 out of 5 stars for me. I love this movie, and, you know, this is one of the best superhero movies ever made. I mean, sure, like I said, there are a couple of nitpicks throughout this movie, but it is so well made that you can kind of just brush past them. But if I'm looking this at a critical standpoint to give it a grade and a rating, I can't give it a 5 because there are those things that are still in my brain that are kind of just things you just have to accept and move on with. But yeah, those are my thoughts on Batman Begins. Excellent movie. And it's kind of rewatchable. I actually want to watch it again. I'm probably not going to tonight or anything, but I want to put it on again because there's just so many great moments and scenes and just everything about this movie makes you want to rewatch it. So yeah, we kind of have to thank Batman and Robin, because if that movie was good, we might have gotten another Joel Schumacher Batman, or who knows what they would have done. But this was just a perfect reboot for Batman. So guys, comment your thoughts in the comments. What do you think about Batman Begins? Do you agree with some of my points? Do you disagree? So yeah, guys, you could also hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so already. If you're new to the channel, you can check out my weekly live show that I do, where I usually give away digital copy codes live at the end of the show, towards the end of the show. So definitely check that out. Some Blu-ray stuff coming on the channel as always. So yeah, guys, that's been it for me. You can follow me on Facebook and Twitter. The links to those are in the description of this video. And I'm also probably most active on Instagram, where you can follow me at King Arises 131. So guys, that's been it. Thank you very much for watching my review for Batman Begins. And until next time, over and out.
Guy who dresses up like a bat clearly has issues.